Hello, everybody. This is Talen Lee. My pronouns are he and him.
I'm Fox Lee, and I'm a she-her.
And we are taking a break from our normal schedule of playing 90s games with Fox and Talen that Talen has played way too much to do something brand new this time, which is a game I've never played.
This week, instead of 90s point and clicks with Talen and Fox, it's 90s point and clicks with Fox and Talen.
Yes. Well, I'm still the one piloting things because part of the point of this exercise is to make sure that you can do things that don't involve stressing your arms out.
And my RSI thanks you.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to play this game that Fox knows top to bottom, and she's going to get to watch just how badly I fail at solving point-and-click adventure stuff without, a 30-year backlog.
Now listen, there was a point in this game where I got stuck for, months, and I don't even recall having solved it, so I don't even remember. I might have resumed from a save that my dad made.
Yeah. And when it comes to these games, I do heartily recommend, when you're stumped, check out an FAQ. They're fun to play, but they're not fun to get frustrated by.
That's very true. I think once you're about 40 years old.
Exactly.
And you have to work.
Yeah.
And you have to pay rent. And you have RSI. And you're just quite tired. I think you feel very differently about how games spend your time than you did when you were, say, 8 or 9 years old.
And that's why Final Fantasy VII is supposedly a classic. Anyway,
we're playing Loom.
Loom!
To the age of the great guilds.
She's loud.
Yeah, well, she's trying to get our attention. This is the early 90s after all, and we are but youths playing a video game.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be talking over this because now the audio is actually recording. And we wouldn't want to cheat our listeners out of this. My childhood. I didn't know what Swan Lake was for fucking years.
It's an opera that Mormons make animated movies about.
If you go in search of Swan Lake music, there's all these people being like, oh my gosh, I remember this from Barbie. I didn't know it for the longest time. It's like fucking Ballerina Barbie or some shit. And then there's me and 2 other guys going, Loom! Ask me about Loom!
Well, yeah. And this is the intro for Lucasarts 1990 point-and-click adventure.
Rise, son of Signa.
Loom.
It is the dawn of your 17th year.
Since we don't have
The
subtitles yet.
elders await you in the sanctuary.
I've never known them to weave such a bright messenger nymph. I wonder why the elders want to see me. I'd better get down to the village.
Alright, and I should go interface in a second. Text will appear on the screen. Alright, hi everyone. This is Fox and Talen play a video game, and this time we're playing Loom. This differentiates itself from previous outings this year in that I've never finished Loom.
Finally, we're doing a game that I have played to completion and Talen has not.
The Loom interface is a little unfamiliar to me, and I know it's a little ropey, but also this is just a shockingly pretty game for a period of people at the peak of their powers. But also, I think this is an upscaled version of it.
Probably. There were a lot of versions of this released. For starters, this has voices in it, which the version I played did not have.
Yeah, because that would require megs of audio file in a period where people did not have megs of hard drive.
It did have an absolutely fucking snazzy audio drama cassette to lead you into... There's a prologue to this, and you find out who this fucker is and why his mother, at the beginning of the story, is in the circumstances she is and all this whatnots. Which, yeah. I played through the game the first time without knowing any of that, and I was like, I don't really know what the fuck's going on, but this gets me right in the feels. The vibes are impeccable.
Yeah, this, by the way, if you were expecting us to try and monetize this, we're not. That's why Fox is freely fleeing around shit, fuck, shit.
Oh, did I swear?
Lots.
Oh, shit. I didn't even notice. Man, when there's no nephews around, I just forget.
This is one of the things you should do, listeners. If you like this kind of material that people are putting out there, where they're allowed to, for example, cuss in the opening seconds, or don't have to pussyfoot around the term murders at Karlov Manor, or maybe are willing to sing a cover version of an Angel Dust song where they will correctly note that they've got no holes left to deflower, you should really be paying people on Patreon for the kind of content you want to see. That's not related to this lovely point-and-click adventure game which we both played as children, but anyway.
Fuck, I hate YouTube, that site fucking sucks. Fucking stupid rules.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you. I'm an
The
artist.
last leaf of autumn.
Alright. My first impression of this game is that it is deliberate.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's no double-clicky to runny. There's no zoomies.
I seem to recall there is a shortcut key for, like, instantaneous travel, but I can't remember what it is, so I guess you're stuck here. You could look up all the shortcut keys if you want. I think all the Fs do something.
Not all of them.
Not all of them?
I've already tried a bunch of them.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Can I have my interface back? Thank you.
No!
Yeah, okay.
It's so pretty though, Talen. Look how pretty it is.
It is really pretty though. I'm very much feeling like this is what they would have called, like, if this version had come out in 2023, they would have called it the AI upscaled version of it. Whereas I think that the
Oh yeah, I think there might be some anti-aliasing at work, but
yeah.
What can you fucking do these days?
Well, what I could do is spend several hours trying to get access to this program on DOSBox and run a pure version of the thing. But I can't. I do not have that set of skills.
That's me just casually forgetting that we're doing a recording and clicking at the dog to get into his bed.
Yeah, okay. By the way, listener, if any of you felt the need to suddenly get under a blanket, well, I'm sure you're a good girl.
Yeah, good girl.
Don't these people ever clean up after themselves?
It's also quiet. Like, for a game that's fully voiced, it's very...
Well, yeah, the music in it makes such an impression when it pops up that I had totally forgotten that it is, for the most part, not playing that music.
There's no crackling fire sounds, no bubbling pot.
Grass green. I hate that colour.
This is why Bobbin and I are in a fight, by the way. How can you hate green?
Note. So one thing I do know about Loom is that the puzzle-solving mechanism revolves around using a staff to play notes on a stave to use notes to play on a thing. And
This wall hasn't been
It's a
dyed
staff
yet.
and a stave.
okay, and I don't know where that is. So like the single starting puzzle that kicks this whole game off, I don't
That's
know what to
the book
do.
of patterns. I already know what's in it.
Yes, the Book of Patterns, which I believe is part of the manual.
Oh yeah, that's the DRM.
Yeah, that's
But it's also a beautiful illustrated book with like woodcut style artwork illustrating all the different spells you can learn and a place to write them when you find them in the game.
it is kind of nice to consider just how like the DRM of our history, you know, manual nonsense is now something we're kind of nostalgic for, even though we were obviously always routing around it and cheating as best we could. But like, it had some charm, and then we got to things like Ubisoft's I'm going to install spyware on your computer.
It used to be fun shit, like one of those like red cellophane things where you can only read the text when you got your magical spy glasses on. Or a beautiful illustrated spell book with a secret code in the back.
There's an owl
Or
in
like
there.
a fucking magic eye picture or some shit. It used to be cool.
Uh-huh.
Now it's literally just machine slowing privacy invading
Another owl.
spyware that makes everything worse for people who play by the rules.
Oh, there's a whole over here.
Oh yeah, you found it over here.
Hi there, fat owl.
He's fast asleep.
Oh, hello there, fat owl.
Ouch.
Well, he's not so asleep anymore.
The cycle of life continues.
That made me so sad when I was a kid.
Ouch.
Poor bunny.
Alas.
Destiny shall draw the lightning down from heaven, roll its thunder far across the sea, to where I wait upon the shore of wonder, on the day the sky is opened and the tree is split asunder.
So immediately the puzzle solving brain is looking at this and going, DDFWOA. Is that something? Probably not. DDF would be notes, but W doesn't appear to be one, and O probably isn't one.
It's okay. I'll give you this. It's a standard music scale, so it only goes from A to G.
Okay, and that means that, for example, the fact that they're capitalized D L D H F S W S W O S O A T, like that's not meaning anything.
Well, you're on so many more levels of problem solving than this game is on.
Yeah.
Though I will say, for those of you who did listen to the audio cassette, you might recognize the name on this grave. And in fact, Talen, you might recognize the name on this grave.
Well, I'm guessing the fact that her name is Signa Threadbare might relate to Bobbin Threadbare.
Indeed.
And the fact that she died at the age of 21 suggests she was a young lady, which means she was probably someone who lived long enough to give birth to us and then died.
That is your mother.
Didn't know there were so many owls in these woods.
Okay, so that's the third owl. And there's a fourth owl over there. That hole there doesn't seem to be owly.
By the way, how many levels of hint do you want me to be on in general? Like, should I be on aggressive levels of hinting, or just let you wander around until you,
All the
like,
holes are
actively
full
solicit help?
Well, when you get frustrated with me.
I mean, that is for you to decide. The frustration is yours alone.
All holes are full now.
There's an owl in there.
Okay. So I would assume that I'm meant to replicate that pattern. But, go on.
I mean, you're thinking about stuff in all the right ways. But you also don't have a staff.
Yeah, well, I thought this might be the puzzle that unlocks the stuff. Like, you click these owls in the right order and you get the stuff. But... might be a gift from my mum, so it might be over in the grave area. Not a lot of stuff to click on around here. Oh, wait, hang on. Stars. Can't do it. Stars.
Yeah.
I like the view from the cliff better.
You're a whiny little spot, aren't you, Bobbin? I don't like
His
that
voice
colour.
is so... Yeah, like I said, I didn't play with voices, and he wasn't quite so sort of... There wasn't as much elbow in his voice.
It's true.
That's a reference that listeners probably won't understand, but...
Yeah, they will, because we talked about it on our on the blog when we talked about the Johnny series of books. And
oh, yes.
everyone who loves the stuff that we do together would want to watch all the stuff we do
Yes,
together.
I'm sure everybody who consumes any of your work has probably listened to everything you've made.
Okay, so I have two different signals of a song. There's the flask, and there's also the owls. And for all I know, they're doing the same song. Also, the perspective on this does not bloody work. This is a ramp. This isn't a jetty.
It's fine. It's artistic license.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can't do anything with the clam yet. Gonna have to wait until I get the disc staff that lets me make an open spell, which is becoming more and more obviously, I think. Hang on. Do I click the seagulls in the right order and get my staff?
You're so used to adventure games.
Yep, you dorks. Yep, and that's probably like low, mid, upper, but like it's probably like literally on a visualization of the staff, but I need the staff to do this stuff.
Yeah, if you're playing in hard mode, it won't actually tell you the notes.
Staff.
Well, you get the stuff, but it like you get the letters that correspond with the notes normally, so you can write a draft down as a 4 letters.
Mm-hmm.
And in expert mode, it won't tell you the letters. You gotta do it by ear. Okay. It's not really hard though. You only get A to G and then a high, like a high C.
Okay. Is there a staff hiding in the laundry?
This wool hasn't been dyed yet.
Is there over there?
Where'd they get wool from?
Sheep.
Do you see any fucking sheep?
I don't know. I haven't been all over the island.
They've been shearing seagulls.
Yeah, they've in shearing seagulls.
Don't trust weavers, man.
Not those people do suspicious things to seagulls. Not that those people do suspicious things to sheep, but rather these people do very, very suspicious things to seagulls.
Wonderful. I can't see a thing.
Not even in the tent. Oh, you were in the tent. Sorry, that's my bad. I thought you'd step slightly to the side of the outside and then clicked on the darkness.
Alright, is there anything over on this side? Oh, well, there is. the pier, which I already rejected.
Where the sheep are.
Where the sheep are. For the shearing. And this is, like, I would assume, like Monkey Island style, it might be you just keep walking to the side.
Okay, well, one thing you have to remember about this is that it is Monkey Island style in that, like, you're not gonna die.
Yeah, oh yeah. This is
This is extremely Lucasarts on their adventure game shit.
Alright, cool. Okay, so I here is the obvious plot point.
Oh my god, this is so upscale.
Yeah.
I remember each one of these tapestries with very, very noticeable dithering all the way up its length. It was quite magical.
Yeah.
On an actual DOS computer back in the day.
About the decline of the guilds. There's a third shadow gathering.
Can you imagine being the historian Weaver?
That's strange.
Who's like, yep, gonna write about our decline while we're here. Can everyone agree we're in decline right now?
Oh my god, I only just got that.
That the section of the tapestry's been ripped off.
Well, I got why it's been torn off.
And the elders don't look at all pleased with her.
You have heard the findings of this
Hetchel's a
council,
good name.
Dame Hetchel. Have you anything to say in your own defense?
My elders, my actions speak for themselves.
This reckless defiance is intolerable. Any secret you share with Cygna's son might be turned against us.
His talent is awakening, and the power is very strong in him. We dare not desert him now.
Stubborn old fool! Who are you to decide such things?
Enough, Lachesis.
Ooh, also a good name.
Hetchel, I'm
You'll
grieved
notice
to see
a
your
pattern
many
with
years
these
of
elders.
service end in such disgrace.
My
Are they all named after birds?
destiny is yours to weave.
Hetchel, the fabric of your life has been woven by your own choices.
Also, this
Gaze
is
once
some
more upon the
top
great
tier,
loom.
like
If you
good,
would know
thoughtful
your
kid
ultimate
Saturday
destiny,
morning cartoon nonsense,
for that
right?
destiny
Like this is the stuff that
now
can just get
upon
completely
you.
brainwormy about.
A swan's egg. What does it mean?
Something is deeply wrong. That draft has never failed before.
What is that noise?
Oh, watch out! It's a swan.
Outside.
It'll break
The
your
guild
leg.
is under attack.
Who dares to desecrate the great loom of the weavers?
This is the work of that demon boy. We should kill him while we still can.
Your name will be cursed forever, son of Cygna, loom child, bobbin thread.
My name? But I had nothing to do with this. Wait, where are you going?
I was watching Wimbledon.
No explanations. No goodbyes. And once again, I'm left behind.
I guess they do never name all three of the elders in that sequence. So
It's
they're
heavier than it
Lachesis,
looks.
Clothos, and Atropos.
Oh, okay.
You might recognize those from, you know, if you're up on your mythologies.
The egg, it's trying to open.
I'd just like to say it's a dreadful shame that you couldn't have this B-E-G-G.
That would be good. Congratulations, you have stick. Also, you can type notes on the keyboard if you would rather do that.
Oh, cool.
You want to add some clacky ASMR for the listeners?
Well, the problem I have with that is I would type way faster than this game accepts inputs.
There's
It's
my
entirely
boy.
possible.
What's happening? The whole village has flown away without us.
I know she's meant to be a swan, but she
Moment
looks
you
like a
came
duck.
into this world, Bobby,
Yeah.
great and terrible things have been happening. The elders hoped that your birth was the cause of it.
Why would the elders want to get rid of me? I'm such an awful weaver. They never even let me study with the others.
They fear
Yeah, this is
Bobbin.
that particular
When the
character
Swan
of
arrived,
kids
they were
entertainment that has
already
the same
trying to
crossover
weave
as
the
things you
same
would
draft
airbrush on
on
the side
you
of a
that
van.
they had worked on.
Oh
me.
yeah, definitely. Like, this
The
is not a
craft
kid's story.
turned against
No,
them.
but
It
there's a
means
version of it that
only
kids
one
would just
thing,
glom onto.
that the pattern
And,
is
you know, I
failing
love the
of its
fuck
own
out of it when I
accord.
was like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Can't it be stopped?
Stop chaos.
Like Hook.
The only thing to do is embrace
Except Hook has a lot of it,
turn
a lot of
ourselves
stuff in
into
it that's for
creatures
kids.
of
Yeah.
shadow.
Like, to make it fun for the
Or
kids in the
plan
audience.
our escape.
Without ruining it for the adults. Whereas this, I think, is just made for adults who are nerds.
We are
But
to
it just
survive.
happens to
We must
be
find out where
kid
that flock has
appropriate
flown
as long as
and
you're not
join
too
them if we
squishy a
can.
kid.
Yeah, and speaking as a squishy kid, well, former squishy kid.
If you're one of those kids like me who
Octopus
fancied
is
themselves
distant.
extremely mature for their age, it was
You won't be
perfect.
able to
Yes,
deal very
precocious,
much with it
which
at
is
first,
how they used to
but
spell
as you
autistic in the
practice,
1990s.
true power will be revealed to you. It's time to leave.
So I hope everyone who's not
Child.
Talen was paying attention to the story.
Your destiny
I can
lies
do two
beyond
things.
the sunset, across the sea.
Mother Hetchel, where are you going?
Wimbledon, mate.
Goodbye, Bobbin. I must follow the
Goodness
star.
me. Rip in the universe, bird flies through.
Yep.
This is a fine mess. Everybody's gone and I still don't understand what's going on. Why did they keep calling me Loom Child? Nobody's ever let me anywhere near a loom.
Do you remember the answer to that? Because I know I've told that to you because I used it to inspire a D&D thing one time. But if you don't, there's no problem.
I don't.
Not to worry.
Can I open the loom?
Well, that didn't work.
Nope. No.
But you do get that lovely harp noise.
Yes, it does beat the "that didn't work" of a Bernard, but then again, then he throws it in anyway.
Oh, burn it!
There is a continuum for LucasArts characters to exist on.
Wait, who's Bernard?
Bernard is one of the characters from Day of the Tentacle and Maniac Mansion.
Of course.
Bernard Bernoulli. The other extreme, the other extreme is of course obviously Ben.
Yeah.
From Full Throttle, which we will play. We will play Full Throttle.
Or, you know, depending on what direction you want to take that extreme in, Max.
Mac. Well, that's the thing. Max and Sam are actually on the other side of Ben. Like, this could also...
So there's the continuity from Bernard to Ben, and then there's Max off on the...
on the gonzo side of that. Alright, so we can open things now. Well, I guess I can try opening a grave. That'd be grim. Let's see. I'm also going to try and, open the sky, obviously. That's a thing in the prophecy, so I've got to try.
Well, I mean, you gotta open everything,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Everything that could conceivably open.
Can I open an owl? Is that how you get the bunny back?
Bunny's not coming back.
Bunny's not coming back.
Aww. Bunny's gone.
Alright, so first up, we find the grave.
Hey, it actually remembered the input. That's
Yeah, it's
neat.
got a buffer. Ooh, blue sparkles, not red.
Just as well.
Oh,
Things are better left alone.
You can't raise the dead, Bob and Threadbare. No zombie apocalypses for you. This would be a very different story if he was a Talon boy.
Maybe I should stand a bit closer.
I should stand closer to the sky. Okay. up on
Everyone
the
who's
cliff.
played this is laughing so hard with me right now. It's what you do though, right? You gotta give it a go.
You gotta poke everything. I have to assume that she's not actually even there, and she was one of the swans. She was probably the swan that came in and effed everything up, right?
Who can say?
Who can say? Who can predict the storytelling of a 1980s kids action fantasy movie as told through a complete nerd?
I mean, you did just learn from that sequence that the elders punish people by turning them into swans.
Yeah.
So, it's not too hard to put 2 and 2 together if you're not 8.
Which makes all the swans flying through the logo and here's a bunch of people who pissed off the elders.
Well, apparently it's everybody now, except you.
Yep, I don't even get punished. Oh! What? Man, F that tree, I guess. Oh, my boat! My mighty steed has arrived! But not before I open that clam.
Well, I mean, a clam sounds like something that could be opened.
Well, so does a bunny if you know what you're doing.
That's true.
Alright, and I've got to go talk to the owls and see what their song is, though it might just be said.
I will tell you it's not the same as the opening draft.
Oh, that's good.
Like, when you learn a draft from something, it'll relate to what it's doing. And in no way are the owls opening.
No, they're sitting in holes.
It's the sitting in holes draft. It's my favorite.
It's the goblin way.
This is the song of my people.
There's some authentic goblin noises for the recording.
I guess I don't goblin very much on videos, do I?
No, this right now, that's goblin radio voice.
The normies like it.
Yeah, and then when you're like, I'm under the dog and I'm warm and I have a blanket, go bring me sweeties.
Yeah,
that's the goblin voice.
Yes. Bring Pepsi.
C, D, D, C. Okay, so it's symmetrical.
There's an owl in there.
So that can't be reversed. And also,
he's worked it out already.
well, yeah, open has an obvious opposite, right? Close.
He's a clever boy.
And by the way, that would mean that the closed draft is DECE, which is Dece.
Yeah, it's decent.
So let's see, it was C, D, D, C.
But I love very much that you immediately intuited that it was to prevent it from being reversed. So whatever the owls teach you, it's something that shouldn't be reversible.
That draft doesn't seem to work in cemeteries.
I guess there's no hole to sit in a cemetery, despite that being exactly what they're for. Alright, should double check if I got the note right. Alright, does it start with a C or D? Oh, it's C,
Yeah,
C.
C,
It's
D,
C, D, D,
D,
C,
C.
not D, D, not D, C, C, D.
There's an
Well,
owl
he'll
in
give
there.
you a different dialogue if it's not a draft. He'll just say, I guess that's not a draft.
Okay, so it starts with a C.
Sorry, elbows out. I guess that's not a draft.
Yeah. Alright, here we go. C, D, D, C. Also doesn't work in cemeteries.
That draft doesn't seem to work in
All right.
cemeteries.
Let's go harass a clam. And let's go listen to a flask and then harass a clam.
That seems like such a euphemism.
Wow. I just mean good old fashioned animal cruelty, not to be anything gross.
I said she's burning a clown.
Well, one of the drafts is also going to be like light things up, right?
I was gonna call myself on making MST3K references, but probably anybody who listens to this would have some concept about MST3K references in the first place. Like, we have a type, right?
That must not
Yeah.
be the right draft.
Okay, so still don't know what the owl song does, but I've also got to listen to this flask because it's dripping notes all over.
It's still dripping. What a mess.
Oh, well, I don't even need to worry about this. G, F, Y.
That's not a note. You should write it down, though. Like, everything that makes notes is a draft.
Excuse us, listening. You're just going to have to
Crunch,
endure
crunch.
some crunching while I get out an actual notepad
Scrunch,
and
scrunch.
write down some actual words on actual paper.
You know, I'm sure a notepad on your computer would work too, you big baby.
I'm not alt-tabbing out while this thing's currently working. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
After
okay.
all the malarkey we went
He
through?
has a point. Alright, do you want me to write them down for you? I can do that. I can
I'm
be
just
secretary.
reducing you to a secretary. Besides, you know them all already.
No, they change between games.
Oh.
The open and close is consistent.
It's still dripping.
And there's one other one which doesn't change between playthroughs, but I'm not telling you what it is.
Yeah.
But the other ones, so you can't just cheat your way through the game, do change between plays. Though, I imagine you have to, like, learn and unlock them as well, because, like, when you've only got 3 notes, you could brute force a lot of stuff.
I would imagine that the stuff that would actually do any sequence breaking all lies in these these notes you don't have yet.
Well, sure. That is the main method of stopping you from doing anything you're not meant to.
Wait a second. Owls can see in the dark, maybe? Can I cast a spell on the darkness?
Can you cast a spell on the darkness? You sure can.
See in dork. There you go. I'm taking notes.
Open your copy protection
Don't these
booklet
people ever
now.
clean up after themselves?
So, that's all very impressive, and it tells you all, like, the kind of weavers we're dealing with here. Ooh. Alright, that's hardly a song.
Yeah, none of these are songs.
I'm just
They're
saying,
spells.
D-D-D-E is just some very... I don't know, that'll do. Alright, okay. I think I've accumulated all the stuff around here, so I'm going to go and see about leaving this island forever after harassing a clam.
I'm gonna go see a man about a clam.
Gotta go see a clam about a plan.
I think even though you learn the opening draft from Hetchel's egg, I think that's the one the seagulls do as well. Just to make a point of what they want.
I hate to ruin the poor girl's breakfast.
He says that so mournfully.
Just...
Yeah, look, you remarked upon it before, it's a very quiet game. I feel like there were some sound effects at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
We're just gonna stop for this lovely number again.
Those of you who in 1990 had a Roland TI sound card, you're all feeling very smug about your purchase at the moment.
We definitely did not have a Roland.
I didn't have this in 1990. I didn't get this until I pirated it years later, like a good boy.
Yeah, I don't know what year I must have been playing this in. I don't think...
Alright.
I do not recall the actual year it would have come out. I guess it could have been 1990, because I'd be about 7 at that point.
So this thing is spinning around and around, the wheel is spinning around and around, D, 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 E. And if that doesn't work, it's E, D, 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 D. Yeah? How we doing? How we doing? Ooh, that's not right.
Incorked.
That doesn't seem to work on water spouts.
I'm just gonna cough again, sorry.
Here's hoping I remember to go through and edit that.
That draft doesn't seem to work on water spouts.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I just assumed you have to leave it in because there was music going at the time.
It's a good point. We'll see.
Huh?
No, okay. Well, we're going to try to close a thing.
I will say you are now at the part where I was stumped for months, and I actually don't remember ever solving, so I'm not certain that my dad didn't do it for me while I wasn't paying attention.
Doesn't help at all.
Some way to untwist it.
That didn't help at all.
There has
Must
to
be
be
some
Weaver
way I can
music.
twist it.
But what was that actually for?
That was for turning straw into gold.
Huh?
There is some sound.
Huh?
Yeah, it's just him going, ah.
Still, that's not nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This massive water spout that is extremely locationally specific is making some minor background noise.
I thought it was just Bob and going, ah.
That draft doesn't seem to work on water spouts.
Okay. So we're going back. Clearly got to find a draft that will mess with water spouts. The clam is
Is gone.
yeah.
The clam is a clam shell.
It's a clam, circle of life. Bobbin clearly likes birds more than he likes anything else.
You gotta close the clam.
Behold my mastery of powerful magics.
Oh.
Hey birds, you got a new spell for me? No.
Open the clam.
See, you could have put that to any 4 notes and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's the song. That's exactly the song they did. That's so clever, Fox. You're
There's
so
a
good
reason
and
I
so
didn't
cool.
tell you to play on expert mode, you know?
Yeah, because I'm fucking tone deaf.
I have always kind of wanted a sequel to this where not only did they not show you the notes, but you have to sing them.
You absolute sadist.
Just a nerd.
Can I turn this into gold? Cool. And by the transitive property, I should be able to turn it back into straw.
You're right, it's a very bad song. Just absolutely bland.
It's all about singing about that one guy. Ed. This is a trap. Oh, look, it looks like a doorway. Oh, but you can't get there. What are you doing wrong with your interface? It's just background detail, isn't it?
Harassing a clam.
Okay. Let's have a look at you.
This wall hasn't been dyed yet.
Ah.
Grass green. I hate that colour.
Okay, so CD, CD. This does have remarkable F around potential.
Oh, yeah.
The colour
Like, if they had
change.
wanted to make this a bit more sandboxy, there could be so much random crap just to mess with.
F off. Really?
Yeah, you got spellcaster experience.
Well, it doesn't unlock the one spell I've got that needs an F yet. So I guess I've got to do it here too. Though it does have me wonder.
It's not actually experience. It's extremely just a flag to,
Ha.
That's already as
They need to
pale as I
stop
can
you from
make it.
escaping this island before you have everything you need.
So somehow, making that thing, making the water spout green is going to be an effect.
I did
Looks
not
much
say
better in
that.
White.
Make it paler.
Why you hate green so much? Green is lovely.
He's a big dingling.
I mean, grass is not the nicest green there is, but
How does he know what grass is?
looked like there was some grass in the forest. Surely, it just wasn't very green because it's
Looks
nighttime.
much better in white.
Boring boy.
Racist. Going around making everything whiter.
I'd make fun of him
Literally whitewashing.
for just walking around in grey all the time and commenting on other people's choice in colour, but
You would.
I would, except the grey is symbolic, so I can't really.
And also, you would. You would also travel around to random locations with a magical stick in your hand and assert people's different aesthetic tastes as being
I
superior.
would. Well,
and inferior.
actually, yeah, he's doing it out of earshot of anyone else, so I probably would.
Yep. No, this guy does not have the courage to tell anyone to their face that he thinks their outfits suck.
I have the courage to tell people to their face. It just wouldn't be nice or appropriate.
Should be able to turn this stuff into gold?
This is not straw, Talen.
I don't think you can weave with thorns.
Well, that's just misleading. That's not a weaving draft.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, dude, we have some history of someone having a woven crown.
Oh, that's a little different. You can't make fabric from them.
Alright.
Well, I mean, you could, but you'd have to, like, break them down to their component fibers. Then again, no one taught him to weave, so there you go.
He doesn't even know what weaving is. Like, he was standing next to a loom, and he's like, I've never been even near a loom. Like, well, I have some bad news for you. Okay.
Man, even if the draft wasn't specifically for turning straw into gold, he also got it from a spinning wheel, not a loom, right? So you don't weave on a spinning wheel. You spin. Really, this boy's education has been shocking.
Possibly robed cultists from a NES video game aren't the best people to be raising children.
It's not a NES video game.
No, but like the actual aesthetic of like little robe and, you know.
Oh, alright, fine.
Now I've got to just wander around and click on everything until I find the thing that has an F note in the draft.
Do you want me to help you? Or do you want to wander?
It's
up to you.
We'll have a bit of a wander. The whole point here was to watch me suffer, right?
I know, not to watch you suffer. It was to share something I loved with you.
Describe the creation of the world and the passing of the two shadows.
For those of you who listen to the audio drama cassette included in your collector's edition of Loom TM.
Well, based on that means these aren't going to matter. So, gotta go check the end here and see. Well, they wouldn't put something like that. Like, you finished this game and you didn't have that cassette, so clearly...
No, I hadn't listened to it yet. It was there the entire time. I just didn't realize it existed until I, like, looked in the game box and I was like, what's this?
Also, this doorway here looks like it should, like, go somewhere, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know what the internal construction of this tent is.
Magical.
I think it might be magical.
Those are the same 4 threads spun by the
What
elders.
was the last note there? D?
That was a C, wasn't it?
C, F, G,
Yeah.
C.
It was from high C to low C.
Very messy, very untidy. Why do we have more than one C?
No, it's beautiful.
Don't know why we need that. Whenever organization pattern leads to the idea of we have C and then other different C.
So you can hit the dramatic high note the second time through the chorus.
Yes, but it could be called, like, Dave. It doesn't have to be called also C.
You can't call the note Dave.
We need to hit a high Dave.
There's exactly one octave that goes from C to B, and then from then on, the notes are just called, like, Dave, Greg, Harry, Denise.
Quirkle, mayonnaise.
What the fuck?
One of my favorite things to do when I was giving name demonstrations, a list of names to students, is that I would deliberately slot in some very weird names and see who would notice, because so often students ignore what you give them. So I would often have, in an example, Alice, Bob, Chris, Mayonnaise, and David are all together in this location, and you'd see how many students wouldn't notice Mayonnaise was in the list at all.
You know what you should do? You should just name a cast of characters from a TV show.
We did that too. That's also been a thing. It's gotten a little harder now because a lot of the teachers are now... There's enough of an age gap that if we like make a reference to, say, Gilligan's Island or the Land Beyond, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, right? Like, that's just a little Easter egg.
Yeah. Alright, yeah. Got that one. Duh.
No more notes here.
Yep. Okay, so what we have here is a bit of a weirdness. Because...
It's still dripping. What a mess.
Yeah, in this playthrough, I had forgotten what this draft was for until you did the dyeing one, and I was like, oh, wait, yeah, that's not dyeing, is it? That's a different thing.
I need G, F, F, E. Oh, well. Can we close this flask and stop it from dripping?
It offends me.
Guess not.
Well, that draft didn't seem to do much good.
Just has a slightly whiny temper to
Yeah,
his voice, doesn't he?
he's just a bit of a judgmental dude. He does look like he would complain just a little bit about girls not respecting guys like him.
He's not like that.
He just has the voice of a tit. I'm not saying he is a tit. Can't get rid of the color on the die.
That draft didn't seem to do much good.
And I've got the die pot. Alright, well, I've used up all this location. And I've gotten the draft from the owls. Fiddle-dee-diddle-dee-dee. Where else can I see 4 things?
You're going to be very mad when you work it out.
Well, I thought that closing the vortex was actually like really clever, and then it's not that, so any answer is going to be disappointing by comparison.
Oh, I just mean the place where you learn the draft you need is going to make you angry.
You're right, I didn't actually click on the vortex itself. Well, before we go, I'm going to see if I can make the sky green.
Such a pretty tree. You know, I can't remember for sure, but I think dyeing only works on wool.
Didn't work.
Look, this is a point-and-click adventure game, and this is how they go, and this is also
It's
an
true.
easy one.
It's true.
So I'm trying my best to just take it in good faith and not just turn to hit books.
I don't know that it's easy necessarily.
I'm not going to die.
That's very true.
I'm not going to put myself in an unwinnable state. We're not...
And like, it doesn't have a lot of chain logic. That can be a problem with a lot of point and clicks. Like the fact that you have no inventory really limits the amount of like, well, I guess I stand here rubbing these 2 things together for an hour.
Yeah, and I've checked everywhere here, so there's no place here that can have an F, so I have to assume that the vortex has an F. And I needed to get to level where I had an F here, so now I go to the vortex and get the F, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, you can learn drafts even before you have the notes for them, as you did with whatever the die flask is.
Exactly.
About. Yeah.
But the logic of the but the logic of the game keeping me from having the F. C F.
Also, you should definitely
close enough.
boat into the vortex just one time.
All right. I'm trying
Wouldn't
to.
let you? That's weird. Huh.
I think that's close enough.
That's weird. I'm 100% certain that you can boat into that thing if you try hard enough. Because it's a very memorable
That
animation
twisted it
where you
tighter.
get shot up over the clouds and splash down back near the dock. Hey! There you go.
That's almost like the Alexander scream.
I hope you liked it. You're gonna get it again. Sploosh.
Well,
It's a good thing water is soft.
it's a good thing bobbin is made out of bobbins.
Now, let's try
That's
this
true. He
again,
might not be
shall
able
we?
to die.
Yeah, so I think what's happening here is the sound effect for whatever this is doing is just calling a random part of the memory that's not correct anymore. So it's the voice. So what it thinks it's looking for, it's just grabbing part of a voice file for him, which is why you're just getting a periodic...
Well, it could be, but in my headphones I can definitely hear a rumbling.
I made the wrong note.
No, did you play it the wrong way again? Oh, you just didn't do a draft.
Guess that.
Yeah, I used D instead of F. There we go. By teaching me, you have made your own destruction, Vortex. You fool. You sap.
Well, all it knows how to do is twist. It couldn't help but give you the secret of untwisting.
Oh, I should go pick up that starfish. I'll need that for insurance. Oh, cool. And now I have G. So I can drip.
The dripping draft.
Well, he is a bit of a drip.
You finally replaced that grey cloak.
That's not a fun transition animation. That was long enough to make me wonder if the game had crashed. Oh man, I loved Mousetrap.
Where's the music?
Yeah, I think this sounds bonked.
Oh, that's sad. It's supposed to come with a great rendition of, I think it's Dance of the Little Cygnets.
Has a ring to it.
Welcome to Crystal Guard, stranger.
You have a
Master
very large head.
Godmode,
He does.
31st in the Noble
This guy's a
Guild of
massive dog.
Glassmakers. And who might you be?
My name is
Oh, here we go.
Bobbin Threadbare of the, Noble Guild of Weavers.
A weaver! Tell me, is it true that to peer beneath a weaver's hood brings instant agonizing death?
Pagan
honestly
shit.
don't know.
Pagan shit.
Nobody's ever
I
tried
like
it
it.
with me.
I like it.
You have such a wonderful view of the sky here. Have you noticed a flock of swans flying this way?
Swans.
Swans. You know, birds.
Yes, swans!
I've definitely heard of and
I
haven't
hadn't heard
eaten
of
any
any swan
swans.
sightings. Look around to your heart's content, Weaver Threadbare. And remember, if you break it, you buy it.
His head rotates in an upsetting way too.
Yeah, I hope those are eyes and not like the most ridiculous
I
sunglasses.
think he's wearing goggles. Maybe they're like
Near this
spectacles.
spot, Lucent Bottleblow, founder of the Noble Guild
Lucent
of
is kind of a cool
Glassmakers,
name.
attained his final clarity.
Okay, so I'm in a graveyard.
Yep.
Cool. Cool.
Hey, what do we do with
Soft
graves,
shot,
Talen?
wife of Lucent Bottleblow.
Doesn't seem to affect them at all.
We try and open them. Does the spell have a sense of propriety? Rumble?
Oh,
Don't
that's
think
what
I'll
it
try
is.
that one again.
The tornado was borrowing the sound effect from that.
Alright, well. Ooh.
Yes, alas, the spell does have some sense of propriety, but you know, you got to keep trying, right?
Want to do the Jesus stuff.
That's beautiful. I've never seen anything sparkle like that. Not even the long tapestry. What kind of glass is...
Tapestry sparkle?
It was carved
They
from a
do if you
single
make them
crystal
from magical
diamond.
weaver shit.
But I thought you were glass makers.
Here we are. A dear boy, this is none other than the famous Chromax conundrum, wrought by our distinguished founder, Lucent Bottleblow. His works once filled an entire museum, you know. And that was before the great dragon arrived in 7342. She blew through this city like a torch, melting and breaking our finest works, plundering our
Dragon
museums
specified
and
as a
treasures
she. We
until
support
had
women's
almost
wrongs.
nothing left. It was awful, just terrible, really a miserable time. Even Bottleblow's greatest masterpiece, the first scrying sphere, was lost forever.
So, go meet the
still
dragon
have
and
the
get the
conundrum.
sphere off it.
And a
Got
lucky
it.
thing, too. It was all alone.
You've
the
dealt
Guild
with
of
fantasy
Villains at the
stories
time.
before.
It is the sole remaining example of our founder's transcendent genius.
But I'm still curious. Why is it diamond instead of glass?
We've no idea. No idea.
He just walks off.
Didn't even get subtitles!
Well,
I don't know what this spell does.
is that the drippy spell?
Yeah.
It's still empty.
Hey!
Okay, why did it turn red though? That's not what usually happens when you fill or empty something.
I wonder
Oh,
where
the
that
green was
dragon
just
hid
reflected.
Bottleblow's
That,
other
right, okay.
treasures.
That makes more sense. What did you fill it with?
Fluid.
Fluid. Ah, you know, fluids and such.
Can't turn that into straw. Can we open a bell?
Man, I love the use of, like, strong lighting in old pixel art.
Yeah.
That
Even
draft
when it's
isn't
been
work.
anti-aliased.
A glass bell. I wonder what will happen if... I'm dizzy.
Okay, so the bell has a "Don't break the bell" enchantment on it?
Also,
or is it
some
a
other things that
transportation
just
network?
match. Oh, yeah, it's a lift, yeah. Oh, those stairs are so unsafe.
And
so unsafe.
And they're made of glass.
And, yes. Oh, this place must be so painful to grow up in.
Yeah, you're like... And also, everywhere you step, it's crunch, 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 crunch. Because, like, little bits of glass are breaking off everything.
Oh, it's on a beach.
Yep.
Something is getting sandblasted all the time.
Oh, Sierra, eat your heart out. Holy balls. Of course, it didn't look like this in the day. I'm just, you know...
No, but it still looked pretty fucking good. Like, this game was a delight, even in very low color mode.
Halt!
I missed the start of that.
Well,
Something CCG.
Looks like a scrawny runt trying to sneak into our flocks.
Sneak? You call that sneaking? I heard them coming all the way in from down.
Thought you were going to fleece some shepherds, did you? Maybe we ought to take the shears to you instead.
I love the choice of regional accents.
Listen, I mean, I'm not looking for sheep or trouble. I'm looking for a flock of swans.
Swans?
He's being bullied by shepherds?
You know, birds.
Oh, swans.
Yeah, but, you know, they're Northerners.
Of course. We should have known. Everybody comes here when they want swans.
And that one Glaswegian.
Next you'll be telling us you're some sort of wizard off to fly away with them birdies.
Right.
Wizard? Wizard? You wouldn't happen to be the great wizard that Fleece was telling us about, would you now?
Fleece?
He is sort of dressed like a wizard.
I don't know. He doesn't look very powerful to me.
Me neither. I say we don't let him by until we know for sure.
So I have to copy their
Come on
spell,
then,
right?
wizard. Let's see some magic. Or else...
Being bullied.
Wow. Yeah, that takes on such a different tone when it's all voiced.
First.
Alright, well I can't turn them to straw. Who knows, maybe this will, like, you know, water spout them away. Nope.
Maybe you'll twist them all.
That draft didn't seem to do much good.
Alright, let's, open... open shepherd? You've really got to work with me here on this magic.
That draft didn't seem to do much good. Well, that draft didn't seem to do
Metaphorically,
much
all
good.
of these ideas work quite well.
But none of them do, because this isn't what they want, because this isn't actually about being a wizard. This is about finding the one particular key to using this one particular lock. It's all the frustration of an inventory puzzle with an additional element of spelling.
Weaver drafts seem to be quite literal most of the time, yes.
Going somewhere, little wizard?
Come on, lads. He's had enough. Let him go.
Some kind of...
Let him go.
And now we just go back again. D, C, C, G. Okay.
He's back.
So are we.
It might help to point at something first. Well, that draft didn't seem to do much good.
That seems like it should have a programmed response.
Well, going invisible shouldn't either, because, like, they should be like,
There's
well,
nobody
we
better
know
at
that one.
stealth
Ah,
than
there
a
we go. Yeah,
shepherd.
that's what I was
Aye,
expecting.
and you'll have to do better than that to get past that.
Oh, you played it the visibility way first, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, well...
I don't know why shepherds would want to be invisible in particular. Never been able to work out why that would be
Come
like a
on,
spell
lads.
they developed
He's had enough.
specifically.
Well, if I remember my dreadnoughts, it's that the shepherds are the best of men that e'er trod English ground.
I have no idea what you're referencing, I'm afraid.
Literally what I just said, a song by the Dreadnoughts.
Oh, the Dreadnoughts is a band?
Yeah. We shepherds are the best of men who e'er trod English ground. And, it's just about how shepherds will, go and get absolutely boozed up.
Oh, actual literal shepherds, huh?
That's straw to gold. I can't remember what CD is.
CD.
Yeah.
I don't remember that being anything.
It's got to be one of the babby spells. Oh, that's green.
Yeah.
Well, I have to assume I don't have what it takes to defy these terrible shepherds at the moment. But I might have to start turning buildings white. Bereft of anything better to do, the point-and-click adventure game protagonist seeks generalized mischief.
That does seem to be part of the play intent a lot of the time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You are meant to try things out, to mess around. It works very well.
It's kind of fun to remember how much these so many of these scenes have terribly ambiguous entry and exit points.
Oh yeah, what the fuck is going on? Like, overwhelmingly, what the hell is going on?
Not so fast here.
What are you... Bobbin, what... Give me my cursor back! You little turkey!
Who's that? I can barely hear what they're saying.
Oh, he wanted to make you watch the cutscene.
Oh, that is a stupid hat.
Your Excellency is pleased with our progress?
That all depends on how far this sphere can help me see.
4 hours, most assuredly. Perhaps 6 with a bit of luck.
Only 6 hours? But I expressly requested 8.
Every sphere is unique, Bishop.
Oh, he's a bishop. This guy sucks.
To accurately predict how well this sphere will perform.
I need at least 8 hours. 8 hours, Master Crucible. See to it.
You having fun yet?
I love this.
Yeah.
This is bringing back so many memories. I love all the names. Like, I love how they're weird non-names that are occupation-based, but also they kind of feel like names most of the time.
It's already open.
Alright, fine, I'll close it then. What is it you wanted? Oh, no, that's not allowed either.
Well, that didn't work.
So one of the frustrating elements about designing a magic system like this is, and one of the reasons that this works so much better in a tabletop kind of game, is that the spells having supposedly predictable effects that aren't negotiated, that don't have a specific meaning, creates this situation where you can come up with a good and creative and clever use for the thing that is then completely useless because the game just hasn't had that programmed in. So I have a thing that turns wool from green to white, and if the point of that spell is turn green thing to white thing or white thing to green thing, hypothetically it's really interesting and powerful here, but it obviously isn't.
Like I said, I think it only works on wool. Like, it is specifically a dying draft.
Is it?
He did say that.
No, that's not right.
But, you know, it's part of the incidental dialogue.
I guess that isn't a draft.
This one's a little weird.
I can't, like, click at that bell either.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it works the same way as the other one, but you can't click on the bell for some reason.
How very annoying.
Look!
Who are you, lad?
And just what do you think you're doing up here?
I'm not sure. I just rang the bell and
Well, I'm sorry, but you're not supposed to be here.
Step back under the lens, please.
This is a restricted area. No visitors allowed.
Good day, sir.
Okay, so I gotta come back here stealthy.
I guess I'm not supposed to go up there.
Well, I guess I'll forget about it and never go up there then. That's what an adventure game protagonist would do.
Yeah. So, one of the things about this game that I'm actually finding I dislike is the pacing. Bobbin moves in a very deliberate way. Anything you want to try to interact with anything else has got, like, literally a specific measure of time before it can do anything. It's very frustrating and slow. And that means that when something fails, you actually get, like, really immediate feedback, where it's like, well, you get red sparkles instead of blue sparkles. But then you've got to wait for him to finish that, and then you get Bobbin going, well, you're a turkey.
Softshod, wife of Lucent Bottleblow, here attain final clarity.
Okay, so this is...
Near this spot, Lucent Bottleblow, founder of the noble guild of glassmakers, attained his final
fill
clarity.
This one up.
You can't fill any graves, I'll give you that for free.
So the bishop lives.
Very bleak, though. Yes, it does certainly like create the interesting idea of like a more freeform magic system with that sort of verb form as its core.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, would be incredibly difficult to do in a computer game, but very good in a TTRPG.
Yeah. So I can't... This is also another thing that the opportunities for engagement get closed off real quick. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that I think now isn't worth trying, which has got all the frustration of the point and click, well, rub everything on everything problem, except not only is it slower, but also I feel like most of them won't work. And that might be hypothetically like a way to encourage people to instead, don't try everything, think things through, have a plan for what you want to do. But the problem that flows from that is I do have a plan for what I want to do, and they don't work, which means I'm not thinking right, and that means I'm not getting any useful or positive feedback.
I will confirm that you definitely don't know what you need to get past the shepherds yet.
Yeah.
Actually, having seen you wander around for a bit, I can't remember exactly where it is. I thought I remembered everything in this game, but...
Yep. No.
I will look it up real quick. So if you do ask me, I will.
Well, it's alright. When it came to the other games where I was like, I'm familiar with this, I still had a game FAQ open in the background.
There is that.
Like, every screen has to have a reason for being, and some of these screens' reason for being is to give you some way to move on to the next screen, you know?
Yeah. This is not one of those cases where there's, like, you know, everything has... what am I saying? This is not one of those cases where every screen has something relevant on it. You know, nothing is here just to be a spacer between other things.
And there's a degree of hunt the pixel going on. And the inability to cast spells on yourself.
Didn't work.
I can tell you that you can cast spells on yourself at some points.
I guess that draft isn't going to help me here.
Yeah, the ability to hide when I'm trying to sneak somewhere wouldn't be helpful, you tit.
One of the things I can't remember is how you can target yourself, because I know you can do it at some point.
It might help to point. It might help to point at something first.
And of course, this is the real problem of this kind of thing, and that it becomes this like death of engagement because I'm just sitting here thinking about, well, what the hell can I do? And the answer to that is, I'm sure there's something. There's got to be something. Okay, we have the bell here. We have the ball. We have the wine. In fact, on this side of the.
Oh, right. Okay. I looked it up real quick. And it's not that you cast invisibility on yourself. You cast it on the target you want to hide from. And that is, I feel like I should tell you that, because that is not intuitive at fucking all.
No, that's a bit confusing.
It probably describes that fact in the book.
Yeah.
That's the draft descriptions in it. But since in this version of the game they didn't even let you pick it up, right? They just said that's the book of drafts. I already have one of those.
Well, that draft didn't seem to do much good.
So you were not to know this. And even when you tried to use it against the shepherds, it wasn't like you did have to select them to cast it. But because it didn't work anyway, it wasn't clear that casting it on them was still the correct, like, use mode. So, there you go. It's not that you target yourself for that. I was remembering that incorrectly.
Behold, as I take this glass and empty it, then fill it again.
For a second there, I thought you froze the game. I was like, Talen, stop filling the glass. It's done. It's fine.
Well, that was what I was hoping to do. No, you can't overfill it.
I've already done that.
Alright, I'm getting frustrated with this, and I'm finding myself being boring. Fox, tell me what I need to do.
So did you notice that outside there was a spot where you can see those two fuckers up in the tower?
I did. Tried to click on them. Couldn't get a reaction out of the interface, so I assumed I must not realize what I'm doing. But that's helpful.
I think you may have been out pixel hunted.
Why did the adventure game as a genre fail? What could possibly have gone wrong with this perfect system? And remember, this is one of the good ones.
I think you get him from outside. Yeah, there you go. And of course it doesn't pop up the thing you've actually targeted until he walks all the way to it. So you wouldn't necessarily know that the thing you selected was the workers specifically.
I wonder, did it work?
Well, I didn't get you complaining about it, so it clearly worked better than normal.
Somehow I know that didn't work even from here. You're a bit of a ninny.
I have to assume he's hot, right? Like, under the hood.
I mean, I definitely had a bit of a crush on him when I was 8.
Yeah, like, obviously Bobbin's got to be kind of a cutie. Because otherwise, this twerp...
I will
say, that's quite a figure.
He is less of a twerp when you can't hear him talk.
Getting tired of bowing and scraping? Why would the clerics want a scrying sphere anyway? I thought they didn't believe in the future.
Yeah, your
They
guess
don't
is as
believe
lucid
in
as
the
mine,
future.
Flute. The Crucible appears to think that they're up to no good again.
It's a scythe.
Then why would he do business
It's
with
a
them at
scythe.
all? Let alone so
Nothing
many
weird
spirals of
about
scythe.
that.
Well, you know, Crucible, he'd sell his own mother's spectacles if he thought there was a profit in it. And the clerics are paying off in cash.
Which should keep us in the clear for years to come. Still, I'm certainly pleased that Crucible's not taking any chances.
Alright, well...
This scythe might become very useful if our friend the bishop has been less than transparent with us.
Ouch!
Yes, very useful indeed.
Alright.
That was a weird... the dialogue was just off from what the subtitles were, wasn't it?
Yeah. I assume I can't mess with that while they're holding it, but this gets me to the crystals that I'm after.
If only this were a game with inventory, you could take this extremely useful tool with you.
Yeah, grab the loot and run. E, F, F, E. That's a pretty cool idea. You see the future of yourself casting a spell. This is going to tickle your pink, right? Yep.
I do love me a stable time loop.
Alright, well, let's just quietly snoozle on past these nerds with their scythe, which I assume I do not mess with now, but will become important later.
I mean, why not try messing with it now? It's a Lucasarts game. It's not like you're gonna die for it.
Ah!
That sword is even sharper than a weaver's spindle.
That's a good draft. I haven't seen that one before.
Where's the H key?
Ooh, where is the singer who can hit a high H?
See, you're bullying me, but also I bet I can find... I bet Decay knows exactly the right kind of heavy metal singer who can do something like that.
Talen.
Look, you get to name the notes whatever you want. That's why there's Dave and Kevin.
No! Dave and Kevin are just names that C and D came up with them for themselves because they didn't want to hang out with the lower C and D, alright?
Well, then
there's
chosen
still
names,
C and D underneath.
And you need to respect that.
Ah, shit. There's no H!
This is like that time when I was talking with some friends about how I couldn't make the keyboard do the cat girl squiggle on N. And they proceeded to bully me for several hours.
Of all the things you could call that diacritic.
Hey there, shepherd nerds.
He's back.
So are we.
Shut up.
Fuck off, Shrek.
He wishes he was Shrek. This guy's donkey.
Oh.
Scare shepherds.
It's the dragon!
Well, that worked. Funny, I don't feel very scary.
You're not very scary, Bobbin. Your name is Bobbin.
It's a fundamentally unscary name. Cute, but not awe-inspiring.
Ah, but wait, Fox, he says, cutting in with the editing power. Now you see, there is a moment more that we must take a break with the draft of Very Awkward Edit.
E-D-I-T. Not to scale.